MusicGuru here, asking you to help us on our march to 10,000 subscribers. Welcome to Music Guru, where rock and metal never die and every classic note still matters. Alright, we're going to do a quick video here on something that Ritchie Blackmore had to say about Eric Clapton. I'm going to ask you your opinion, but first I want to detail a few of the things that were in the article. And the article is by Dale Mapplethorpe over at Far Out Magazine. And it's called 3 Legendary Guitarists Ritchie Blackmore Thinks Are Overrated. So I'm going to let you try to guess which 3 this article focuses on. But for the most part, we're going to stick with what he said about Eric Clapton. Now, I think he's being a little bit more serious, and here is the quote. Eric Clapton, I never saw what was in Clapton at all. He's a good singer, end quote. So he's saying that he doesn't think Clapton is a very good guitar player, and the reason that I think he's not joking in this case is because I feel that there are quite a few people who have had this reaction to Eric Clapton, and even more importantly, I think there are more and more people who feel this way about Eric Clapton. So if you had taken a poll in the early 70s among people who listen to rock music or blues music and asked them to rate Eric Clapton as a guitarist, most of them would have given him very high marks. If you were to do the same thing now, to go out and ask people who listen to rock music or even what remains of blues-based music what they think of Clapton as a guitarist, they might give you a much less enthusiastic response. They might say, well, he was one of the granddaddies of it all, and he's an important member of Cream, and he was once considered one of the greatest guitar players, but there's been so much innovation since then that he really is no longer considered to be at the top of the heap. And I think that this is more or less what's going to happen to Eric Clapton's reputation over time, and that is why I bothered to make this video. But what I'd like to know from you is, do you agree? Do you agree with any of this? Do you agree with me that Clapton's reputation is likely to become a bit rough around the edges with time, and that at some point his legendary status might just slip away, whereas I don't see that happening necessarily with Jimmy Page or Jimi Hendrix? But I would really like to know from you is, do you agree with what Blackmore said about Clapton? Do you think that he is not very interesting as a guitar player at all, and that what's interesting about him is his singing? Or do you think that in this particular case Blackmore is full of crap? For me, I think that I would almost look at it the opposite way. I don't really enjoy Clapton singing very much, and while I'm not a major fan of his guitar playing, I do enjoy his guitar soloing, and I do enjoy the way that he can make a guitar speak lyrically. So I think that while he's not one of my favorite guitarists, I definitely think he's a better guitar player than he is a singer. So in this case, I disagree with Ritchie Blackmore. This is what I think, but what really matters is what you think. So if you have an idea about this or any other topic connected to classic or contemporary music, please drop it in the section below, and remember to like and subscribe. Thanks a lot. Music Guru here, asking you to help us on our march to 10,000 subscribers.